Hello everybody, this is Havoc and welcome back to Mytholandria and Planet Coaster 2. Apologies for the extended time in between each episode. I wanted to do 2 to 3 days max, but life got real busy, had to work on some IRL job stuff, so just wasn't able to make it. So apologies on the delay. I don't like to leave you guys hanging, especially with all the support you guys have been giving me, so I do hope that you understand. But we're back in Mytholandria and things have changed a little bit since the last time you saw it. For one, I decided to go ahead and start working on a little bit of terrain. I have randomized it just a bit, just so that we have at least something to work with. We can always move things around, we can always reshift things how we want, but I didn't want to do too much at the same time without having your guys' involvement and at least checking things out. So we do have a little bit of a different situation here. Whereas all this was flat, we are working on the edge of the map here, which means we will probably expand at some point. I do have all the way back here though, so I'm not quite sure how I'm going to handle that. I don't know if I want to go ahead and expand this way just to give me wiggle room to do whatever we need to do. I'm really not sure at this time. But before I get into it any further, if you want to support the channel, the best way that you can do so is by giving the video a like, subscribing, and of course, leaving your comments in the comment section like you guys have been awesome at doing it so far. The other things that we've done is I've started to make this into more of a fjord type situation where we have some extreme heights that we're kind of wiggling through. So whereas Greece, we will start expanding. You've seen some of the hills over here that we're going to start digging into. Over here, we're going to have a much rougher climate, and that's just kind of symbolizing Scandinavia, Norway, Sweden, that sort of area, where things are a little bit more difficult terrain, where we kind of have to be a little more mindful and intentional about where we put stuff. It's going to give me a great challenge, and I'm really excited on it. Next up, we do have a situation over here where I made a waterfall in an actual pretty deep area, but what I think we might do here is we may make a really big wave pool, and that will sort of be one of the starts into the cross theming, as it were, where we mix up our mythological side, or at least our Greek mythological side, and our Norse mythological side. So one of the other things, this took a while, but I'm very, very proud of it, is we now have an accessibility option. Now, I'm hoping one day they'll fix the clipping issues of people not walking through objects, but I do really love how this turned out. So basically, if you want to, you can go down the stairs. And remember, if you're new to the channel, I do like to build accessibility into all of my simulation parks. I just simply didn't this time because I think I was so distracted on making a really cool couple of parts for you guys that it kind of just escaped my mind. So we have the big giant stairwell, which you'll see is extended by quite a bit. Or you can head down here and you can totally, can I take control of this person? I can't take control of this person. I know there's a way you can do first person, but it's almost like a little cave side entrance, but that's still wide enough and dedicated to where it isn't just like a side entrance. And then you go down into here and you can either go down this space to get down to the pool, or you can go down this slightly smaller avenue. I had some pathing issues that I really needed to fix here. And then you can still even see a little bit of those leaves and those plants there, but you can go down all the way and hit the non-water park theme. So I'm really proud of it. I love how it turned out. And I do think it is definitely something I'm going to be keeping going forward. And as you can see here, over on the other side, I've already built this in. So I didn't want to do anything too crazy in terms of stairs because I do have more limited space over here on the north side. So I just made a nice, easy walk down ramp that'll extend out to the park wherever we need to go. So the goals for today are, we are going to build our second attraction here. It's going to be a relatively simple one. We are going with our Viking Upswing, and maybe we'll modify it a decent little bit, but then we need to start making more shops. I did build a bathroom, by the way, so people can use the bathroom, but we need to get people away from the front door here and onto something that's a little more fun and engaging down here. So again, I do hope you're super excited for this episode. I'm super excited for it. And we're also going to see if we can't get a little bit of access here and maybe build out our first little wave pool. So there's lots and lots to do. Now, as I just mentioned, we are going with this flat ride upswing. And I do still want to provide a slightly terrifying experience in that when you're swinging over this thing, I want you to feel like you're swinging over just a ton of air. Like, that's really kind of the goal here. We're going to go ahead and drop that right here. All right, so a little bit of a tough time dropping it where I wanted it to go, but it's all well and good. We're going to get our entrances in place, get our pathing figured out. There we go. Pretty cut and dry. And then what we're going to do, we need to have some power things go on, and we still have some rock issues. So we definitely need to, or at least some landscaping, I should say. I don't want this showing up and causing things. Doesn't have enough power to open. I completely understand. That's what we are working on. So if we go over to our power here, we have 292. I wish we could see our overall power. There we go. Okay. So we have a total capacity of 653. We're only using 97 of it. So that means we have plenty of power. We just need to be able to access it, which isn't a problem whatsoever, because we can simply go to our power distributor, right? Yes, we don't want a power generator. We want a power distributor. And we need to be able to hide this, because I don't believe that power distributors actually need maintenance directly. So that's good. We just have to get it hidden. I think that's simple enough. We don't have to go all out for it. We could go ahead and open this up as well. There we go. And then we're going to build our, obviously, we're going to build some great scenery here. I'm wondering if I can't build some palisades up here where we could have a big Viking wall, as it were. And so that way, when people are walking down here especially, they just see this big giant Viking wall. This needs to be moved down. We can work on that in a little bit. Or maybe we do kind of the Viking wall, but up top only. And then down here are a bunch of rocks to where it looks like almost like a fortress, like a small fortress area. Now, there is a really cool aspect of this blowing up every once in a while. That is actually pretty cool. It's like a golem breaking a ship apart. That is actually what it is. That's actually pretty legit. We could extend that to where we have our rocks overflowing here, almost into a little garden spot. You know what? We actually might go ahead and do that. I think we could work on the non-conflicts. Let's see what we can't get up to. There we go. That's not too bad. We could do the same thing on the other side, actually. Let's go ahead and do that. We're going to make this kind of an encampment real quick. Apologies for taking so long. I know you guys don't mind. You actually kind of like the blend between real life and time lapse. So let's just get this party going real quick. Apparently I can't select these things, but I don't want the rock. Well, we're just gonna have to do this by hand then. There are things like this that just kind of irked me about the game. Things that should be fully functional and working very well just don't tend to, but I know they're working on it. From the sounds of it, they're actually doing really, really good with it, so... Is it because it's inside? It's because it's inside of the coaster. Or the flat ride, excuse me. And then I do wonder, since we're already here... I do wonder if I don't just... remove the golem completely and have another set of waterfalls and just have a big bunch of set here. I don't know, but people absolutely love this ride. Holy Moses. Where did all the people come from? Okay, well, people enjoy brand new rides. Anyways, I'm sure that's a large part of it. All right, so what we can do now is we can start getting people to come down into the park areas. And we can simply do that by adding some really good scenery, props, and then modifying them. Because, again, I don't have the time to work on building all this stuff myself. We do need a Viking shop. And I am going to build that just right into here. And then we're going to come into here. What do we not have yet? We have a hot dog squad. Do we have a sushi bar? I don't know if we do, but if we don't, that's okay. There is no power here? Okay, there is. Good. Okay, cool. And then this is a really cool little place. I want to go ahead and modify this and bring out the garden space out to here. And then obviously work on these boyos to make this a little more comprehensive. Maybe even enclose this whole space in some gardens and then make a little garden back here. I think that'd be a really cool thing to do. All right, there we go. Not too shabby. I really enjoy it. Nice little garden space kind of hanging off of the cliff there. I think works pretty well. We'll fill this all in. Odds are we'll do some sort of ride over here. It'd be pretty cool to even have like a coaster that flies over here, kind of goes over the Norse side of the theme park. And we're actually still rocking a pretty solid, lots of unique attractions. We need 4 more attractions for the next star. We need a lot more prestige here, which means we need a lot more attraction prestige. What is this? Lowest rated metric. That's right. Okay, well, we have a hugely positive reputation, so I really don't have any issues over there. Now, we did kind of say we were going to balance. There's only 2 main rides on this side. We have 2 main rides on this side, which means I think we can at least start the transition over into our pool. So I am going to go ahead and work on the wave pool. And one of the first things that I noticed over here is that I don't actually have enough waterfalls to handle it all. I don't know where all the waterfalls went, but they are not with us. And so I do just kind of want to complete this a bit. But then what I'm going to have to do for the time being, oh my word, I do wish I could remove, if people know how to remove the rotate wheel, that would be fantastic. That would just make my flippin' flappin' day, because I'm so exhausted of it. We're going to group the scenery. I'm just going to move this just for a little bit. Just like way up here. I'm going to move it completely out of the way, actually. Does it look awkward? Yes. Do I care? I don't. So what we can't do is we can't actually build a pool in an area where there's already water. So we're going to move this boyo. I'm actually going to have to do the same thing over here and move it up into the sky, I think, or somewhere again where it's not going to be in the way. Let's just move it over there. That's actually a little bit hilarious. Anyways, we're going to flatten the terrain so we have the least number of distractions, and then we're going to go into our pool settings. We're going to create a custom, and we are going to do infinity edge because I don't want to worry about any edges that we would have to deal with. And then in the back, we are going to start with a swimming. Wow, this is actually going to be pretty big. Let's go with 3. Ooh, that's actually really cool. Because we could have some underground stuff. I don't know. We'll see if there's anything I can do with that, because that would be pretty sweet. Do we want just a concrete pool? A large marble pool? There's so many things we could do. I say we keep it like that for now. We're going to turn to the browser. We are going to go back to our pool there. We're going to have wading, and it's going to go all the way across. We're going to have shallow is the... Okay, yep, shallow is the littlest. And this is actually going to be our largest space. Now, this is an absurdly large pool. Like, I just feel the need to say that. Would you ever need a pool this big? Probably not. But that's okay. That's fine. We're going to smooth this out with some pretty heavy intensity. That's still not near as smooth as I want it. That's not smooth enough. There we go. There we go. So what we're going to do, we're going to give ourselves a good amount of space, and then we're going to smooth it all over. Sweet. Okay, now all we have to do is just make sure that there are no escape ways to do anything. There we go, that's done, and now we just need to get our confirmed selections back where they belong. There you go, you're gonna have to live with seeing those because they do look a little funky once they actually go underwater. Just don't look at it too much. And then for pool extras, this is where we build. Can I really not build into this? Is this really not gonna let me do it? Okay, it is gonna let me. Good. Because I was about to be legit upset. There we go. Okay, that looks great. Let's go and get our scenery brush in. No, I don't need our scenery brush. I need our terrain brush. And we are going to roll with some sand. There we go. Okay, and now we can add our pathways. And this is where I'm going to have to probably compromise. And so I think what we're going to actually end up doing here is some jazzy mosaic pathing. Is that going to look good? That actually doesn't look half bad. I would actually probably prefer the rustic path, which is what they have. Yeah, I don't like that one at all. Or we could just simply go with the gravel path. No, I don't like that. Red stone shell. That's what we're doing. Okay, cool. So we're going to do our stone shell. I need to not have any railings or anything. No rails. No, nothing crazy. That doesn't look too shabby at all. Now, we need to go back just real quick. There we are. There we are. And this allows for so much stuff to do. So, for instance, we can have so many pools, or so much extra stuff here that I think works really, really well. We're simply going to add a couple of lifeguard posts to have complete visibility, and then we just need access. So we can do access in a couple of ways. I think it wouldn't be out of reason to really smooth this out. And then we need to go ahead and start putting access here. And I have the best part for it. We do have some doors, Viking themed doors that I want to work with. Excuse me, Norse theme. This entrance is just perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop the entrance right like this, carve out a little pathway to where it's almost like a gatehouse, and then they're going to go through services right at that point, and then they can get into the water if they so choose. Now we'll start with access over here, and then we'll eventually add access. And then again, the last part that we want to do is build this all up over here. But the goal is to try and get people away from the entrance alone, down into this area, and we can start making bacon by having a really cool section here. All right, well, I think that's actually pretty darn nice. We have a really cool wave pool here. I should probably add the other side of this. Oh, I forgot to fix this. I have to fix this real quick. Apologies. There we go. That's better. All right, cool. Ride attendant's been there for 2 days in a row. Okay, scheduling is something we really have to figure out. We've got to really get the schedule down, and maybe I'll just spend an episode or a short amount of time like scheduling in a little time lapse deal. But for now, I think this is really good. We have a cool little entrance here. I do need to start naming things and start slapping names all over the place. I think that would be really, really good. But regardless, we do have a lot over here, and I can totally add some more real quick. And then again, we'll have the Greek side meet up as well. I'll probably end up having a ramp that comes down here and goes into the park as well, so that we have our wave pool. And then, ooh, I wonder if we could build a lazy river into it. I'm not sure that we could. I don't think we could, but we may start a lazy river right in this space. Oh, my mouse is freaking out on me. And in order to kind of connect all things together and have a really cool lazy mountain scenario. But again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. We're going to flesh this area out. We're going to make it pretty darn cool, and I'm really, really excited for it. But overall, we are getting people to come from the entrance here down into this space and to start hanging out, and it's going to be fantastic. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Hope that you enjoyed the episode. Of course, as always, if you want to lend your support, you can do so by giving the video a like, subscribing to the channel, and of course leaving comments in the comment section down below. All of those help engage the YouTube algorithm, so it wants consistently to push my videos out there, which is an amazing form of support. I do also want to mention, since we're pretty deep into the series now, that if you become a member of the channel, I do my absolute best to release all of these videos early. Sometimes it's the day of, sometimes it's the day before, and I'm hoping with the holidays coming up that I can start doing a lot more before it releases the day of, to give you members a very good early access look to upcoming videos. So if you want to become a member at any tier, it is completely and totally appreciated, but also not demanded or mandatory in any way, shape, or form. I totally understand any scenarios in which you wouldn't want to, but it's just a way of additional support that would be really cool to start seeing happening. Anyways, guys, once again, thank you so much for hanging out. This is Havoc, and I'll see you in the next one.